Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We have a interesting little knife over here. This is Buck Mini Spitfire number 726 in a Buck lineup. It's a USA made little folder, as it say here, made in USA, of USA parts and imported clip. So they couldn't do the clip, but they've done everything else. Knife made in the USA. And obviously, we live in a global society, so I appreciate some of this honesty here. The clip is important, so just take it as it comes. Let's take a look at this. This is not new. It's a used knife. It's been used for 1 month of heavy everyday use. This was bought as a first knife of a teenager, actually a 15-year-old girl, a daughter of my girlfriend. We went to the store and we picked up this knife. This was her choice. She actually had a chance to hold some different knives, some Benchmates, some Jack Wolfs, some Kershaws, some Bucks, and this is what she ended up choosing for herself. And she's been very happy with it. She's been carrying it every day for the past month. And so eventually what happened, she went to the beach and it's gotten some dirt and sand in there. And basically it started like feeling grimy and dirty, and I took it to shoot a quick video and to clean it for her. So today we're gonna do some disassembly, we're gonna do some cleaning, looking inside, taking a look at this knife. USA made, Buck USA, comes with Buck Forever warranty. If something ever happens to this knife, Buck will have your back. It will replace it for you or fix it. Anyway, you will have this knife for as long as you want. You can see there's a little bit of dirt. I mean, it's not dirty in any way, but you can see it's been used. There's a little bit of a recurve on the blade here. It has not been sharpened, but I will sharpen it today. It's a 720 steel, which is great, I think. It's got a really nice clip, very usable, and also, this nice anodized aluminum green backspacer. So overall, the looks of this knife are excellent. I can't say anything bad about this. And this is what, because the girl who was choosing it for herself, she had a choice to buy whatever she wanted in the store. Because I offered it to her, but she wanted this. This is what looked the most appealing to her. This is also the lock that she understood and she wanted to have. When I explained how this works, this is a lockback knife. It takes 2 hands to operate and to close, and so that made sense to her. This is what she ended up, because I've shown her some frame locks, some liner locks, some access locks. All of that did not work for her as someone who is buying her first knife. And this did. And as you know, the lockback knives are Buck's creation. Long time ago with the Buck 110. And they are very, very safe and secure. Very nice lockup. There's absolutely no play. So let's get into disassembly and see what it's made of. As you guys know, I'm not any kind of expert on this, and that is the point. We're gonna prove time after time, you don't need to be, you just need a good tool. This is a T6. From what I understand, this is a model 726 Buck Mini Spitfire. There's a Spitfire which has T9 pivot screw and T6 other screws. This one has all of the screws T6, so that makes it a little bit simpler. As long as you have a T6 tool, you can completely disassemble this knife. So I've never done this. I'm gonna do it right now. My job is to open it, to clean it, to oil it, to bring it back to the original shape as it was when it was first purchased, and return it to the owner of this knife, which is a first knife of a teenage girl, and she loves it. So if you're looking for a first time recommendations, definitely I recommend considering this blade. So let's get into this one. I'm gonna do the pivot screw first. And I don't know what's the best way to do this. As I'm doing it, I have no idea. Maybe it should be closed. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing. And we're gonna do this together because this is the point. Obviously, you want to care for your knife. You want to make sure that it's clean. Okay, we can see that there's some Loctite, some blue Loctite on this screw. All right. I imagine this particular screw is gonna be important, possibly. These two are for the back spacer, but that also can have something to do with the locking mechanism. I'm just gonna go in this direction. And honestly, as I'm working on this knife, I can tell, oh my God, I see why she likes it so much. It's a good looking knife. I think it's important to have something that's aesthetically pleasing as your everyday option. So nothing has moved so far. I took out 2 screws, nothing is happening. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. They just, you know, they come out very deliberately. No extra force required. All the screws seem to be the same size, which makes it very simple for me. Okay, now, as I'm working on the last one, I can see everything starts moving in my hand. I can feel it. I'm just gonna hold it a little bit tighter just in case something wants to fly out. I'm not gonna let it. All right, let's see what we have. Okay, what do we have? The scale. Okay, I can see some dirt and grime, some sand, I can feel it. That's gonna make your mechanism not function as well. So yeah, you can see there's some sand got into it from the beach, and that will interfere with the action. And honestly, I played with it just before I started shooting. The lockup is very secure. So obviously that's not enough sand to render it useless. And that's good. Let's take out the blade. Maybe I'll just push down on this and take it out. Yeah. Oh, there are, I can see some vinyl washers. Those are important, not to mess with them. If it will come out for me. It does come out a little slower. Yeah, slowly it came out. All right, there's another washer there. Let's see what we can do here. I'm gonna grab my little knife here. Right, so that's a very thin vinyl washer. I'm just gonna gently take it out. I don't want to mess with this in any way. And we will just set it over here. Want to make sure I'm not messing with this. If something happens to these washers, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna make sure nothing happens. They are grimy, dirty. This is the blade. 420C, excellent knife steel, just excellent. By the way, if you're wondering the price on this, $45.99 plus tax at the store. Thank you. Okay, so first thing first, I did not see what I was doing here. I think this was like this. I wish I looked. I may have to refer to the video. No, it may have to be like this. Yeah, I think it's like this. Is it? I think so, yeah. All right, so let's take it out. All right, I'm trying to remember how this is gonna go. I think I do. Now we have left with the spacer, which does look like anodized aluminum. The scales are aluminum. As I'm holding this, they're very light. And that adds to the overall lightness of this package. By the way, while we're at this, this is the knife. It's my first, so to speak, knife that I bought as an EDC CJRB button lock, and I actually. It's also the reason I'm not ever gonna buy a button lock ever, because after one trip to the beach, this button got basically non-operational. I had to disassemble it, clean it a couple of times. The whole mechanism, the tiniest particles of sand just messed with the whole thing. And then it's useless. Like it doesn't work as well, So this is first and last button lock that I've bought so far. I'm not planning on doing that ever again. And that's because I live close to the beach, and a beach trip is a possibility in my life. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab this little towel. I'm just gonna wipe everything thoroughly, and I'll get back to you. All right, guys, at this point, everything is nice and wiped down. I actually took the pocket clip off and kind of bent it back into place because it was already sticking out a little bit. And obviously you don't want that. And I noticed that the screws, even though they're T6, they're a little shorter for the pocket clip. So let's quickly put it all together and see how we do on time. So far the disassembly and reassembly are not problematic at all. Seems to be very easy and straightforward. I like these designs. They work well, they're simple. There's something about Buck knives. There is a reason why, they're so popular. They kind of pioneered the lockback thing. I don't know if they came up with it, but they definitely made it popular back in the 60s and the 70s with their iconic Buck 110 design. And this is kind of like just a spin-off from there. A good thing that's made a little better with the modern materials. I decided not to use the this thing, the blue, you know, thing that helps with the screws not coming out. Not on the clip, but on the other ones, I think I will do it. Definitely on the pivot, I will do that. So what helps with all this, these things are in there, they're stationary. I'm sure they can come out if need be, but they're in there, and that helps with building it back up. So let's just start with putting it all together. I'm gonna do the same way as I just backwards of how I did this. Hopefully, I just don't remember about this, but hopefully this is how it goes. I did not look. I was distracted with telling a story. So this goes like this. Okay. Just feeling to see how it feels, and it feels a little grimy, so maybe I need to do some more wiping. So basically, you know, it's a micro fiber cloth and WD-40. That's how I do this, you know, and it works fine every time. Or some say 60% of the time it works every time. All right, so yeah, let's just put it together and see where it leads us. Okay, so that took a little bit. Oh, the very, very interesting part are these nylon washers. Obviously, are very important. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start oiling this. Some oil. Yeah. Yep, that's what's gonna make it work like a well-oiled knife. Obviously, oil attracts grime and grease, dirt, so just make sure you only use as much oil as needed. No more nor less. And obviously, you don't know how much you need, just use your judgment. This is gonna be oiled pivot. This is gonna be oiled another pivoting point. This is gonna be some oily thing here. Yeah, I'm okay with this. So, the second nylon washer, very important. In it goes. The last bit of a little bit of oil, maybe I don't even need it. It's already oily enough. Obviously, it's not gonna show up. And then we just cover it up. I think it's just amazing. If I'm doing everything correctly, of course, which is not a guarantee. All right, now let's just wiggle it in. This kind of requires faith and hope a little bit. Oh yeah, in it goes, I think. Or does it? Does it in go? I think it does. I think in goes it. I'd say it's in. Oh, nice, nice snap. I like this. I like that snap. I think the customer is gonna be happy with this. Even though it's a non-paying customer, it's just somebody that I know and want to have a good experience with this knife. All right, so I am gonna do some blue Loctite. This came with my BMW motorcycle parts. So let's just see if we can get it in there. Some blue Loctite. Yeah, boy. Nice. I can see it's going in very nicely. It's gonna hold it in very good. Okay, I'm not gonna do too much pressure on that pivot thing. Okay, it's a little bit of blue Loctite. Make sure to never use the red one, even though sometimes when I'm opening my Benchmade knives, I see red Loctite inside. Of course, that doesn't mean anything, the color, but for consumers, the blue usually means a medium Loctite, medium strength, and that's what you want. All right, just continue with these screws. I'm thinking that these two back ones I can get on pretty tight because they don't really have to do with any pivoting. But these two, you have to kind of see how it feels and maybe loosen it a little bit. And then the Loctite is gonna help with retaining them in there. But maybe on these back ones you don't even need Loctite because you're just gonna use the pressure of just putting it in there really tight. But in either case, we're just gonna do Loctite on all four of these. That's not gonna hurt, of course. Okay. I'm making them reasonably tight. Not too tight. So right now, it's a little tight, okay? It's very smooth, it's non-griming, okay? But it's a little tight. And I think I'm gonna loosen this pivot. It's got Loctite, so it doesn't matter if I loosen it. Let's see. This is a little better. Obviously, it's a two-hand operation, so it's not a flickable knife. Just gonna leave it at this. I like it. It's not falling in. You know, it's holding in there, but it's very nice and smooth. I like this snap. I like that snap. That snap is very nice. And it holds in place very, very nice. All right, the Loctite. For some reason I was blanking earlier. I didn't know what to call this. All right, so, you know, there you have it. Very well engineered, very good looking. Obviously, I'm not the only one who thinks so because somebody else did this. I mean, somebody else chose it for themselves. So if you guys have a teenager in your life and you are trying to see what else is out there that you can recommend or to show them, go ahead and consider this option. It's a 2 3/4 inch of the blade. In the closed position, it's 3 3/4, not quite a 4-inch in the closed position. A 420C steel, hollow grind, very nice slicer. Yeah, there you go.